It's a multitude of things that can cause inflation, which, by the way, is not economy. They can be correlated, but they're not the same. But what are the effects of inflation? Inflation can reduce purchasing power, leading to higher interest rates and creating economic uncertainty. Now, the Fed lowered interest rates, but if you remember correctly, interest rates, especially on mortgage loans, but just across the board, went up not too long ago, a couple of years ago, right? It became increasingly difficult to buy a home because them interest rates was real high, real high. Well, that was due to inflation. But what was that thing again? Supply shocks? Pandemic. I know it seems like forever ago. It was just 4 years ago that we were in the dead, and that pandemic lasted from 2020 really until 2022. I think we were still definitely in lockdown in 2022. Certain time periods we would get to come outside, and then there be a spike again, and we would have to go back inside. Which, by the way, there's another spike happening because a bunch of people that I know here in the DMV, the DC area, are getting COVID again. But those are causes and effects and explanation of what inflation is. Okay. Did that sound difficult to you? I tried to make it sound as easy as possible, but did that sound difficult to you? You think you got a handle on inflation? Maybe, maybe you don't. Okay. What about the economy? Okay, so the definition of the economy refers to the system of production, distribution, and consumption of goods and services in the country. Economic health is often measured by indicators like the GDP, the gross domestic product, unemployment rates, and consumer spending. I'm going to go through that again. The measures of economic health, the three measures, the three indicators are the gross domestic product, unemployment rates, and consumer spending. What is the growth of the economy? Economic growth occurs when there is an increase in production of goods and services, leading to more jobs and higher income levels. Okay, well, that's kind of, that's different than inflation, right? Like they're not the same thing. They can affect one another, but they're not the same thing. Okay. Well, how is the U.S. economy right now? How's the U.S. economy right now? We got economic growth. The U.S. economy grew at a 3.3% annualized pace in the second quarter. This growth rate is a key indicator of economic health and affects everything from job creation to consumer spending. What about political impact? With the upcoming elections, economic performance is a hot topic. Politicians are discussing their economic plans and how they will impact the middle class and the overall economic stability. What are the global factors of the economy right now? International economic conditions, such as Japan's recent growth and the impact of global events, also play a role in shaping discussions about our economy. Like wars and how we help out in wars. All right, so that's the difference between an economy and inflation. What's the correlation between the two? Okay, here are the positive effects. Moderate inflation can stimulate spending and investment, which can drive economic growth. Moderate inflation. What are some negative effects? High inflation can lead to economic instability, reduced purchasing power, and higher interest rates, which can slow down economic growth. So basically saying, while inflation and the economy are distinct concepts, they are interconnected. Um, Moderate inflation can be a sign of a healthy, growing economy, but high inflation can have a negative impact on economic stability. Okay, so this is confusing me, right? Like it doesn't make sense to me. Right now, our economy is good. People say our economy is not good. Our actual economy is good. We have low unemployment, our interest rates are lowering, people have jobs, right? People are making a living. Wages are down, but the people are out there working, right? When people say that we have a bad economy or that the economy is not good right now, they're talking about inflation. Inflation is high for certain products, right? Inflation is not high across the board. Sometimes I go in the grocery store and my Gatorade is a 32 ounce for $1, and I'm happy as hell. Sometimes I walk in the grocery store and that same 32-ounce Gatorade is two for $5. I'm like, what the hell happened just this week alone? All those different factors that I explained earlier about inflation take effect. And we are just coming out of a pandemic, but our economy is actually good. Our inflation is just a little high. So, how can our economy be good, but inflation is still high? The US economy can still perform well despite high inflation due to several factors. A strong job market, a low unemployment rate can boost consumer spending and confidence, helping to drive economic growth. Everybody keeps talking about this inflation, and it is inflation out here. Some of these products are a lot higher, but it hadn't stopped me from spending money. If you like that clip, go ahead and hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to catch up on all of our latest content. Don't forget to hit the notification button when you do subscribe so you can get updated every time we release content. We release content every day, whether it's an actual show or clips from the shows. So go ahead and subscribe, like, comment. Also, don't forget our Patreon page where you can find our Talking Straight-ish and After Hours Uncensored episodes. That's patreon.com/unsolicited perspectives. But once again, thank you again for listening to Unsolicited Perspectives. I'm your host, Bruce Anthony, and I'm going to catch you next time. I'll holla.